One of the big points of studying culture is to really look at the way we treat people who are different from us. So when we focus on culture, the focus is on the differences. But one thing that I really want you to remember, one of the biggest takeaways of studying culture, is to know that really, in general, people are more alike than they are different. People are more alike than they are different. So you can think about any two human beings on the planet. Pick any two out of the billions, and they will have more in common than they do have differences. So let's think about what they have in common. Everybody has feelings. Everybody has arms and legs and a similar kind of body, 2 eyes, a nose, hair. Everybody had a mother and a father at one point in time. Everyone needs other people. Everyone has feelings. Did I already say that one? Everyone has bodily functions, has to go to the bathroom. Everyone eats food. Everyone laughs. Everyone thinks some things are funny, even if they're not the same things. So just as human beings on the face of the earth, everybody speaks a language of some kind or another, even sign language. Every human being, you pick any two, they have more in common than they have differences. Okay, but we are looking at the differences. So one of the things I want to think about with differences is how we view our culture versus other cultures. This is very important when studying culture. And so the two, it's a continuum. Haha, I love continuums. I can't see that. The one end of the continuum is ethnocentrism, and the other one is ethno-relativism. Can you see that? Ethnocentrism and ethno-relativism. So ethnocentrism on one end and ethno-relativism on the other end. Okay, so most of us will fall somewhere in between. Most people would like to believe that they're very ethno-relative, but really, and most people are not extremely ethnocentric, although you find some. Most of us are somewhere in between. So now let's talk about what these things are. Ethnocentrism has two parts, really. Ethnocentrism means believing that your culture is superior to other cultures. That's one part. So Americans, better than everybody else. That's ethnocentric. The way you do things is stupid. The way we do things is great. That's ethnocentrism. The other part of ethnocentrism is judging other people's actions by the standards of your own culture. So we talked about enculturation and how we pass things down from one generation to the next. Everything, and we talked about nonverbal behavior in another lecture and about how that's culturally bound. So things that you do in this culture we've agreed upon and have taught our children through enculturation, that eye contact in America means respect, right? For example. In another culture, it might mean disrespect, like, why are you staring me down? I'm your superior. You should be looking down and not eyeballing me, right? So if someone from a different culture who has different rules about how to behave comes here and we don't understand that and we don't try to understand that, but we just judge them based on our rules, that's also ethnocentrism. It means thinking we're the center of the universe. Our culture is the center of the universe and everything else, bleh, right? So the only way to look at the world is through our eyes, and the only way to do things is the way we do things. That's ethnocentrism. So ethno-relativism means it just depends. It's all relative, right? It means ethno-relativism means that you see cultures as neither right nor wrong, just different. Just different. Like they were raised with a whole other way of doing things. The evolution of their society brought them to a point where they learned it this way. Eye contact means this, or this gesture that means peace in our culture means something like a vulgar gesture in other cultures. So it's all relative. That's ethno-relativism. So that is ultimately the goal, right? So it's important to be mindful of how ethnocentric you feel when dealing with someone from a different culture. And it could even be like regionally. Do you think Texans are different than the rest of the country? Maybe we kind of have our own kind of culture and we kind of think we're awesome. That's part of the Texas culture. So it's important to try at least to have an ethno-relative mindset when dealing with people from different cultures. Another thing when we're talking about differences is the in-group, out-group idea. So people like things that are similar to them, like likes like. So we enjoy things that are like us. We like things that are like us. So what we tend to do is form in-group and out-group. So we have a group of people that we allow to be part of our sphere and part of our world, and that's our in-group. And then there's everybody else, and they're outside of the in-group. They're outside of the in-group. So in-group, out-group. When we do that, it's very polarizing. It's very like, these are the good people, and then there's everybody else. So the problem with that is when you're looking at culture, people of different cultures tend to be different. They tend to feel different. So the tendency would be to automatically put them in the out group. Get out of my in group. This is my in group, you're in the out group. So if we're aware that that's the potential and the possibility, then it's more, we can make this more flexible, at least for the time that we're interacting with this person who is different from us. So we're also going to talk about some ways to deal with the cultural differences.